Did you know that nearly 80% of middle-class families in America live paycheck to paycheck? From overspending on housing to ignoring retirement savings, there are several money traps that can lead to financial difficulties. That's why in this video, we'll be discussing some common money traps and providing tips on how to avoid them. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how to make smart financial decisions and avoid some of the most common money traps that many people fall into. Before getting started, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. So let's dive in and take a closer look at these traps and how you can avoid them. One of the biggest money traps that many middle-class families fall into is overspending on housing. It's understandable, we all want a nice home in a safe neighborhood, but it can quickly become a financial burden. Many middle-class families overspend on housing, often taking out mortgages that are much larger than they can afford or paying high rent prices that eat up a significant portion of their income. This overspending on housing can lead to financial difficulties, leaving little money for other essential expenses like food, healthcare, and savings. So, what can you do to avoid overspending on housing? Firstly, consider looking for cheaper alternatives such as smaller apartments, houses in less expensive neighborhoods, or houses that require some renovation work. Negotiating rent or mortgage rates can also save you significant amounts of money in the long run. Secondly, when buying a house, make sure to buy within your budget. Don't be tempted to stretch your budget and take out a larger mortgage than you can afford. By being mindful of your housing expenses and taking steps to avoid overspending, you can ensure that you have more money left over for other essential expenses, savings, and investments. Living paycheck to paycheck is a harsh reality for many middle-class families. Despite working hard and earning a decent income, many struggle to manage their expenses and find themselves living paycheck to paycheck. This can be a stressful and frustrating situation, leaving little room for unexpected expenses or savings. To avoid falling into this trap, it's essential to create a budget and stick to it. By tracking your income and expenses, you can identify areas where you can cut back on expenses and reduce your overall spending. This can free up some extra cash that can be used to pay off debt or build up your savings. In addition to reducing expenses, increasing your income is also essential. This could mean negotiating a raise or taking on a part-time job to supplement your income. Alternatively, you could consider investing in yourself or developing new skills that could lead to better job opportunities and higher income in the future. By being mindful of your expenses and taking steps to increase your income, you can break free from the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck and achieve financial stability. It takes time and effort, but with dedication and persistence, it's possible to overcome this money trap. Credit card debt. It's easy to see why. Credit cards offer a convenient way to pay for expenses, and it's easy to overspend and accumulate debt. Unfortunately, credit card debt can be difficult to pay off, especially when high interest rates and fees are involved. This can lead to a vicious cycle of debt that can take years to pay off and damage your credit score. To avoid falling into credit card debt, it's important to use credit cards responsibly. This means paying off balances in full each month, using credit cards sparingly, and avoiding unnecessary purchases. It's also important to be mindful of your credit score and avoid applying for too many credit cards at once. If you're already struggling with credit card debt, don't panic. There are still steps you can take to pay off your debt and get back on track. Consider consolidating your debt into a lower interest loan, negotiating with your credit card company for a lower interest rate or a payment plan, or seeking the help of a credit counselor. By being mindful of your credit card use and taking steps to avoid or manage debt, you can ensure that your finances stay on track and avoid falling into the credit card debt trap. Ignoring retirement savings. Retirement savings may not be a top priority for many middle-class families, especially when there are other expenses to consider. However, neglecting retirement savings can lead to financial difficulties later in life. Without adequate retirement savings, it can be challenging to maintain a comfortable standard of living in retirement, leading to stress and financial insecurity. That's why it's important to start saving for retirement as early as possible. One way to avoid this money trap is by starting a retirement account early and contributing regularly. Another way to avoid this trap is by taking advantage of employer retirement plans. Many employers offer retirement plans with matching contributions, which can be a valuable benefit. By contributing to these plans, you can maximize your retirement savings and take advantage of employer contributions. In conclusion, we've discussed some common money traps that affect many middle-class families, including overspending on housing, living paycheck to paycheck, accumulating credit card debt, and neglecting retirement savings. These traps can lead to financial difficulties and stress, but the good news is that there are steps you can take to avoid them. To avoid these traps, it's important to be mindful of your expenses, create a budget, reduce unnecessary spending, and increase your income by developing new skills. Additionally, it's important to prioritize retirement savings and start saving as early as possible. Remember, by being proactive and taking action, you can avoid these money traps and achieve financial stability. We hope that these tips have been helpful, and we encourage you to like, share, and subscribe for more financial tips and advice. Thank you for watching, and we wish you all the best on your journey toward financial freedom.